Prime Water Pleasure returned to Saltmarsh, carrying the bodies of Father Hayward and Camilla Fireborn, and the murderer Skerrin Wave Chaser. Atticus questioned the murderer, learning more about the factions within Saltmarsh and striking a deal. Atticus would free Skerrin from jail if he promised to leave town and not return. The prisoner was handed over to Captain Thorne of the Town Guard. Atticus spoke to Misty about his new mission and knew he had to return home to Keymouth, the imperial capital. Recovering from their adventures, the party spent a week relaxing and engaged in various activities. Hecate studied herb lore with the gnomish druid Ferrin. Tiberius continued his studies into the Draconic language. Rhodry liaised with the Church of Procan regarding Father Hayward's death and the list of dead sailors he had found, and became more proficient in the handling of watercraft. Atticus spent the week learning more about Ingo the Drover from Ham, and true to his word, he freed Skerrin from the town jail through a clever ruse. Rhodry had received a letter from his mother imploring him to come home as something was wrong in the farming village where she lived. So Atticus made arrangements for everyone to travel to Keymouth, where he could meet his superiors as instructed, and Rhodry would be close to the village of Penzaro. The voyage to Keymouth was uneventful, and the party arrived in the sprawling metropolis safely. Exploring, they found a tavern in the merchant district, and Atticus left to go and see his Aunt Helena and to report to his superiors at the Cartographers Guild. At the guild, which was the base for the Seekers of the Arcane, Atticus was told about a new mission by Special Agent Bjorn Connery. He was to put a trusted team together to attend an auction at which a strange pearl was being sold. He was to trail the buyer of the pearl to wherever their home base was. After returning to the tavern, the group set off for Penzaro, and Rhodry was keen to get back to the village and check his mother was alright. Travelling through the pastoral beauty of the Keylands, the group was attacked by goblins on the normally well-patrolled roads. Following the fight, they reached the village, but it was apparent that something was wrong. From the abandoned houses, broken stable fences, half-lit street lanterns, and forsaken farm equipment, there was an air of something unusual happening. They headed for Rhodry's mother's house, along the way encountering a distraught mother looking for her son. Tiberius found some likely tracks, but the mother suddenly walked off, uninterested, and when Tiberius looked again, the tracks had disappeared. Rhodry's reunion with his mother was bittersweet. She couldn't remember writing the letter, and something about it had changed. They were interrupted by Rhodry's stepfather, a hulking bully of a man, who ordered him out of the house and let him know in no uncertain terms he wasn't welcome. The party decided to stay at the local inn, Dreams and Drams, which was run by an elderly couple named Lev and Fib. The inn was quiet, and there was something wrong with the menu. The group retired for the night, confused and concerned. Tiberius awoke in the early hours of the morning. A thick mist was at the window, when he suddenly saw a pale human face floating outside the first-story window. It had shadowy crevices where its eyes would be, and its extended jaw and wide mouth revealed tall, pearly white teeth. And then the face withdrew into the mist. So, we'll pick up there, I think.
Okay, so Tiberius is the only one that's awake, yeah?
Tiberius is the only one that's awake. He's just rubbing his eyes, not sure if he's seeing what he's actually seen through the window of his room.
Is it like morning now?
Well, it depends if you want to do anything. It's we're picking up just after you've seen the face withdraw into the mist, so you can go back to bed, or you can do something else.
I'll get a glass of water or something and just have a little smoke out the window before I get back in bed.
Okay, you open the window up, and the strange mist actually seems to be retreating across the village at quite some speed.
I'll watch it with curiosity.
Okay, it disappears,
Monster.
but sort of funneling between the houses and around the trees.
Can I make a what would be the best thing? I want to sort of, because obviously I'm trained as a monster hunter. So have I read
Yeah.
about vampires? I'm kind of sort of thinking, would I know?
I mean, it depends what sort of thing you're looking for. You could make a nature check to see if there's any natural phenomena that might explain it, or any animals. You could make a history check to see if you know anything of any tales that tell of a similar thing.
Yeah, I'll make a history check, please. Now.
Okay.
I've got to drag it in the tower, haven't I?
No, checks should be hidden anyway automatically.
Okay. I've got it in the tower.
You've heard a few tales in the past about strange mists. Most of them, because of the geography of these lands, concern strange mists at sea. Ships becoming becalmed in strange mists. And there are various folk tales about, on certain nights of the year, the mists will rise up and ghosts will return. But there's nothing that really that you can put your finger on that really points to what's happening here.
Okay. I'm just going to think curious, because there's like mists and the village is kind of like either stuck in some kind of time loop or something ain't right from my observations. I'm just going to try and make, a deduction of some kind.
Well, I mean, you deduce that something is definitely happening and it's probably not natural.
Right. I'm gonna get back in bed.
Not particularly helpful, mate, I know, but there's nothing specific.
That's fine.
The witchcraft crosses your mind, ghosts cross your mind, some of the tales of hags cross your mind, but there's nothing specific that you can definitely point to.
I shan't trouble the others with my dreams. Why would I?
Okay.
Why would I until the next morning? Wake Rhodry up. Rhodry!
Okay.
Can I get in bed with you?
Curl up at the bottom of his bed. Like a good doggy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you settle down. You sleep quite uneasily for the rest of the evening, but everybody else is. You're all refreshed by the time you awaken the following morning.
Go down for breakfast. Get dressed.
Okay.
Look out the window. Is it busy in the town?
There doesn't seem to be anyone around. Doesn't seem busy at all.
Well, I'm just going to do that then. I'm going to get dressed and go downstairs. Sorry, Doe, I spoke over you.
Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah. I'll get my my ink and my pen and my parchment and my backpack, and just sit down on the bed and I'm gonna just write a note.
Okay.
I miss you, Mum.
I should type it in the chat window because I'm going to eventually show it to everybody.
It's up to you. However you want to play it, mate. It's your note, your character. People know that they haven't seen it unless you show it to them. So, but it's up to you.
Okay, well, I'm writing this note and
Okay.
carry on.
So, Atticus, you head downstairs. You find Lev there, just trying to light some coals in the stove. She looks up as you enter. Oh, good morning. Would you like some breakfast?
Morning, yes please. What do you have?
I'm not a great cook, I'm afraid. I've got some eggs and some bread.
That's absolutely fine, thank you.
Okay, she starts preparing some food.
Hostess with the mostess.
So yeah, the common room again is very neat and tidy, apart from a few children's toys and shoved in the corner. There's no sign of Fib at the moment.
When she brings my breakfast, I'm going to say, is it usually this quiet?
Oh yes, it's been quiet for a while.
For a while? Look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah, we haven't Haven't seen any of the blue coats on the roads for a while. Tax collectors haven't been around for a while. But, you know, village life carries on. How would you like your eggs? Sunny side up?
Burnt.
Oh, I think I can manage that.
I like my eggs burnt.
Okay, Kat and Tiberius.
head
When you're
downstairs.
ready, you can come down. You find Atticus waiting at one of the tables, and Lev is busy cooking in the kitchen.
Whatever Atticus is having, please, Lev.
Oh, yes, right you are.
Yeah, I'll make my way down.
Okay. Okay.
Morning.
Morning, Rhodry.
She takes your orders and she brings you some fresh apple juice to drink while she's cooking.
Oh, Tiberius, I've got that recipe you were after for the stew that my mum used to make. Here you are. But don't let people see it, because they'll all be stealing the recipe. And I slip you this note, and
I'll throw him a curious look, and then accept.
Okay. Rhodry has put the note in the chat box.
Haha.
Lev comes over with some plates with some warm bread on, and a dish with some butter. She hands out some knives and plates.
Mhm.
So, are you staying long in the village? It's good to see you again, Rhodry.
yes, I imagine we'll be staying a couple of days. I did want to go visit the old herbalist's house. I can't imagine that it's in any fit state, but
Old herbalist.
yes.
As you're saying the words, you start to think to yourself, "No, I must have got the place wrong. There was never an old herbalist here."
It's almost like everything we say disappears. Our wishes, our desires, our needs disappear. Maybe we should not.
He's saying that out loud.
She's walked off, under my breath.
She goes back to start
What?
with the eggs.
Something somewhere out there.
Can't wait for these eggs. Really good with some eggs. I'm looking forward to some eggs. I wonder
They
where
won't-
the eggs are.
They won't come. They won't come because everything you want or need or desire disappears in this village.
Just after
Right.
saying that, she comes back with a big plate full of fried eggs.
See?
They're not particularly well made. They're a little bit watery, burnt around the edges.
Thank you, Lev. Lev,
Yes.
do you know where Ms. Oberhelm lives? I take it is that her surname? My mum, I've got my
No.
aunt's surname, but I've not got my mum's name anywhere.
Yeah, your mum's name is Martha.
Martha.
Martha Barron.
Okay.
Oberhelm. The name rings a bell, but I can't remember why.
Ah, thank you. What about a Haina? Not a Haina, but Haina.
Oh, Hainer. Yes, he's up at the Barron house. Yes, go straight across the market square from here, and take the road on the left, and it's just round on your right.
What do I know of these people and that Atticus is mentioning?
You don't know them at all. Never heard the names. Maybe they arrived after you left.
Family of yours, Atticus?
Yes, my deranged mother lives here.
No way. As I say, I don't remember. Barons, was it? Have they been here long?
Are you talking to Lev?
No, I'm talking to Atticus.
Okay.
Long enough.
So I haven't been back for quite a while, so.
She
Okay.
she wouldn't be seen out in public much anyway.
Oh dear, that's a double shame.
You took into the eggs. They're a mixture of undercooked and overcooked.
Bit weird.
Take the overcooked ones.
Egg pie.
I'm a gnome. I'm quite resilient.
Has she responded to your note at all, Rhodry?
To my what?
No.
No, I pass it to Tiberius, and when Tiberius passes me back, I'm going to slip it to you and Akate.
I picked it up, I read it, but I didn't say or do anything.
Yeah, man, cool.
Give it back to you. Yeah.
Is the fly on the thing, or is it actually?
Yeah, it's a sound effect.
It's like, what the fuck?
Also, the dogs and the singing are not in real life, Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Just to put your mind at ease, you're not hearing things.
I'd like to purchase a CD after the show, please.
Perhaps after
Cause it's dead good.
after breakfast, Atticus, if you want some company, even if you're looking for your family in the village.
No, I won't be going to visit my mother until this business is sorted out. I want to speak to her, not some shallow self of her.
Nice.
So, what are your plans for the day then? You didn't answer, Rod. Are you staying a while?
Yes, I wanted to go and probably a couple of days, I think. I might catch.
Okay, lovely.
I might catch my mother on her own. Wait for.
I know she's
Bill
missed
to
you.
be- Yeah. I know. Well, I'll go find out. Yeah. If circumstances are alright, I'll go round.
Okay, you finish up your breakfasts, and Rhodry makes preparations to leave the house, leave the inn.
Go for a walk.
Where are you heading, Rhodry?
Would I know what Bill Tanner's routine would have been?
Yeah, I mean,
What-
it's sort of 8 o'clock in the morning. He's a farmer. It's likely that he will have left for the fields by now.
I might be able to catch my mother on her own. I wouldn't mind seeing if she'll talk to me without him around.
I will accompany you.
Quite welcome to.
For a general walk around the village, I think. Get some fresh air.
Yeah. See what's changed in the village since
Good
I
luck
was
with your
last
mother.
here. Thanks.
I think we best stick together. Something very powerful and evil is at work in this village. Maybe beyond our capabilities. Raises eyebrows several times.
Yeah, but do you,
Okay.
how quiet do you think we should be about this?
Well,
quite-
I think everybody is bewitched or under some kind of spell. I believe, so that they will remain in the village and won't leave because they're bewitched. Because something's feeding off their souls.
What's that, dear?
Oh, that's quite a theory you've got there, Tiberius. And if it's right, we better do something about it.
Well, these people are obviously scared too, from how it was communicated. Obviously scared to speak out loud, so maybe it's watching. Maybe we should just say, "Come on out, stop being a pussy."
Yeah.
Gonna stand and watch all day, little ghost man.
Okay.
I mean, did you? I was going to say, did you see what was written? What Leven Fib had written on the menu? They
Yeah.
handed to
Yeah,
us.
I saw that. watching. So if you're watching, while you're home,
Yes.
it's big and tough.
So,
I had.
just for clarity, Rhodry's going to his mum's, Cat's going with him. What about Atticus and Tiberius?
I'm just going to go for a walk around the village, general walk,
Okay.
taking the sights, see if I can pick up on anything.
Yeah, I'll go with Atticus. And before everybody gets up and leaves, I'm going to tell them about the dream I had about the creature coming through the window. And when I woke up and went to the window, there was the withdrawing mist. see if those guys, can reflect or know anything about it.
Well, good Tiberius. You're the monster hunter, my friend.
Can you make
What would it look
an
like?
intelligence check, Rhodry, please?
Okay. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, that was a save, but yeah, it's the same.
You do know that there is someone in the village who is a bit of an expert on local folklore, which is Alston, the priest over at the Church of Pelor.
Is that the pink building?
It's on the right-hand side of the market square. Yeah, the long, thin one.
Oh, we could go to the church and speak to priest. Awesome. He's been. How long is he been here since? Like as long as I remember.
Yeah, he's been here a long time.
Yeah, he must be about as old as the village itself. So he was always one for knowing about things. There's a place put on our itinerary. Should we meet there? And if, how long will your business take? Will your stroll take, Atticus? A couple of hours? Hour?
Well, yeah, I think if we meet perhaps just after midday in the town square,
Okay.
those ruins or a statue
Okay.
or whatever it is. What is it in the middle of the square?
It's a statue.
Okay, yeah, by the statue.
Good.
Just after the sun reaches its zenith.
You
Okay.
folk.
We'll deal with Rhodry and Cat first. So you head around towards your mother's house. As you pass this house, you see a man just coming out of the gate at the front of the small garden. He nods at you. The gate swings shut. You see a sign on the gate that says, "Please keep closed, beware of the dog." He doesn't seem to recognise you. Make a perception check, please, Rhodry and Cat.
Oh, why? That's not doing it in the town, is it?
No, it's not, is it? Don't matter. You both notice that he has an ugly red bruise coming up on the left-hand side of his face.
Morning.
Morning.
Nice morning.
Arr. You carry on round and head to the Melworth house. I'll
see if I can see in through the window before I go check who's in.
Okay, yeah, you see your mum sitting in the kitchen. She's sitting at a chair in front of the table and she's just staring into the middle distance.
Hi, Mum. Psst. Mother. Psst.
She looks over at you, kind of blinks momentarily and then smiles, and waves and gets up to come to the door.
Are you on your own?
She smiles and nods. And she comes and opens the door. Rhodry, I still can't believe you're here. Come in.
This is my friend Akate.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Sorry about Bill last night. You know what he's like. Come in. I've just put the kettle on.
Right. Thank you.
She ushers you into the small parlour. Take a seat. Have you eaten?
Oh, we've had a wonderful breakfast at Dreams and Drums.
Oh,
that's so
really?
wonderful.
Lev's not a great cook, but never mind.
Yeah, I said
they're
wonderful, but
Well, I've got some fruitcake left over.
oh, go on then.
She
If it's no
smiles
trouble.
and starts busying herself. She goes and unwraps a heavy fruitcake it's been wrapped up in brown paper. Starts cutting slices onto a plate. So, don't think I'm ungrateful, Rhodry, but why are you here?
We.
You mentioned
Oh, well.
something about a letter. But,
Oh, that's not. It's not important why I'm here. It's that I've finally got round to coming back to visit you.
well, I am so glad. We've kept your room. Bill wanted to use it for storage, but I told him no.
That's okay. It's not my house. So how have you been? How have things been in the village?
Oh, you know, quiet. It's not the same as it was before. Well, you know.
Before what?
Before the sickness came.
Yeah. What do you mean? Well, the reason.
Well, there's a lot of people moved out of the town, and you know, we lost a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bless their souls.
Yes, indeed. Hello, bless them. Nothing else happened. Nothing interesting.
Oh,
Any important
was-
visitors or?
there was some goblin attacks a while back, but they seem to have stopped.
Do you possibly have a note that you can give your mum? You know, about the current recipe?
Ah, the recipe. Yeah. Hopefully it won't distress her too much. Mum, yeah. Tell me what you think about this. This recipe that I found for you, and I handed that note. Yeah. That I
Okay.
wrote.
She looks at it, looks confused for a moment, and she starts reading it. I don't understand, Rhodry. This isn't a recipe. Have you got past me the wrong note?
Oh, yes, I must have done. Sorry. I'll try and find it later. It's not important. Nothing could beat your cooking anyway, from my memory
well.
serves.
Bill's
You're
always
right.
said I'm the best cook in the village.
Well, we can agree on one thing, I suppose. This is. Yeah, okay.
So, tell me about your travels to Saltmarsh.
Yes. Oh, yes. I
How's
met with
Hannah?
Hannah. Yes, she's fine. Her inn's thriving. Absolutely thriving. She says hello.
Oh, she's a good girl.
Yeah.
I'm glad she made a success of that place.
Well, it's definitely a success.
So, I'm going to assume that you spend the next couple of hours sort of catching up and telling her about your adventures, unless there's something specific you want to ask her about.
No, well, no, I haven't. She's just drawn a blank.
Okay. Well, we'll come back after dealing with Atticus and Tiberius in case you think of something.
No, let's do it in real time. Let's chat about the weather in real time.
Just tell her to watch the
Okay.
videos. Okay, Atticus and Tiberius. You leave the Dreams and Drams. Where would you like to go?
Head and then we'll do a loop around the village.
Sorry, you broke up then. Head where?
Head north,
Okay.
west, and we'll do a loop around the village.
So you head up, and as you get to this building, you see it's a small general store standing on the western edge of the market square. The sign declares it to be the One Stop.
That's the route, Neil. I'm going to cancel it now, just to show
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Go that way.
Okay. Okay, so you're heading north first, yeah.
Okay, northwest first.
Okay.
And, I'll remove that
That's
off
alright.
now.
You can leave it there for a bit. Okay, so yeah, there's a one-stop shop. You head on up past some residential houses. The large building that you're passing in the north of the market square is a huge stone mansion. It's by far the largest building in the village. Neatly tended bushes grow around the stone foundations, and high leaded windows look out over the town square. Over the door is a crest depicting a series of hay bales with a long scythe overlaid.
Do I know what that means?
Make an intelligence check.
Is it a common guild symbol or anything?
I'll cast it a glance as we walk past.
Intelligence.
I suppose you think that was terribly clever.
So you don't recognise the symbol, but you imagine that that is either the town leaders or the mayor's property, and that the sign is probably the local village's sort of sigil.
Good, have a look. I'm just going to stand outside of it as if I'm looking at the building, just for 30 seconds or so. Give the building a good look over.
Okay, make a perception check, please. So it looks very quiet. There are signs that it's well maintained. The bushes around the front are neatly trimmed. The doorstep seems to have been brushed, but there's no lights on inside. It all seems very quiet indeed. But you do notice just round the corner on the left-hand side of the house a broken window near a door. There's some shards of glass.
I nudge Tiberius and nod my head at it. He sees it. Maybe we bear that in mind in case it becomes relevant later.
Maybe it wouldn't hurt just to go and have a peek through the window. I'll be right back. Just a look. Call it curiosity.
Okay, you go and peek in through the window. The glass is on the outside as though it was broken from the inside, and you could straight away your senses, your heckles raise. Even though you're not in your wolf form, you see blood on the glass. Looking in through the broken window, you can see a meal on the dining table, uneaten, though showing the first signs of mould.
Something's not right here, Atticus, Baron.
Well, maybe we come back and investigate it later with Rhodry and...
There is blood. I think there might be a body.
Well, let's come back and investigate it later. Nothing's going to happen. I'll look around. There's nobody up there.
Okay, you continue your walk up. These seem to be residential houses up here. As you pass this house, the one thing that does catch your attention is the size and quality of the flowers in the garden. It's a riot of colour and sweet smells coming from them. There's very few people about as you continue to make your way around. As you get to here, you do see in the distance a few people working in the fields over near the canal, pushing hoes along.
Get off. Stop pushing me about.
You continue to make your way around. These are all residential houses. Tell me if you want me to stop you anywhere.
No, just walking and paying
More
attention.
residential, large farmhouse to the north here. You come back round here, you can see the stables off to the east, where you saw the cat that's hissed at you the previous evening. As you come back down past more residential houses, you see the back of the old church, which is built from stone, unlike most of the dwellings in the village, which are built from brick. There's a big stained glass window at the back of the church, positioned to catch the rising sun in the east, and the window is depicts a large sun rising over green hills. You carry on down. Here is where you met the woman who had lost her son, and then you move down towards Smelt It, Dealt It, the smithy.
Still not many people around.
Still not many people around. You see the odd person, but they just seem to be going about their business. Someone comes out of the smithy and nods at you.
Oh my lord.
Morning.
Morning.
Business brisk.
Well, I don't know. You'll have to ask Tala, but it's not very busy in there.
Carry on.
You carry on. The road starts to slope downwards here, between two sets of hills, and then gets quite steep when you get to here, and leads down into a large quarried area. Abandoned equipment lies strewn about, picks, sacks, carts and so on. And in the northern part of the quarry wall there's a small mine entrance.
Okay. Mind? We'll head back round to the square.
Okay. Atticus, do you want to make a history check for me? Or a nature, actually, either. Do. Seeing as you're relatively local. Having grown up in the cities to the north, yeah, you know that these lands, 6,000 years ago during the Great Deluge, all these lands were under the water of the Azure Sea. And then as the sea receded over the next couple of centuries, it left behind pockets of salt deposits, and this bears all the hallmarks of a salt mine, judging by the colour of the rock and the detritus lying around the entrance.
Okay. Thank you. That might prove useful later. Okay, carry on back round to the square.
Okay, you carry on back round. You come back up here past there's a large farmhouse next to some farming fields. There's a couple of people working in the fields, leading a horse that's drawing a plough. And then you head back up, pass by the Melweth house, and head back round to the market square. You've got about an hour before you're due to meet Rhodry.
Hey, head over to the church. Perhaps we should go and speak to this local lawmaster. Oh, maybe Rhodry didn't tell us about that. I can't remember. Did you tell us about that?
I think he
Rhodry?
did mention it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Maybe we go speak to this local lawmaster at the church.
Okay.
What do you reckon, Tiberius?
Lead on, Mr. Baron.
Head over to the church.
You head over to the church. You pass by the statue in the centre of the town, which has small bushes and lampposts heaped around it. It depicts a halfling astride a pony, and in one hand he's holding a scythe.
Yeah.
You carry on to the church.
Anything in the other hand?
Nothing in the other hand, no.
Okay, the door's open, walk up and just test the doors.
So there's large wooden doors at the front of the church, slightly ajar. They are carved again with the image of a sun with rays flowing out over a pastoral field of wheat.
Procan, isn't it? Is that right?
Pelor.
Hello. Alright,
Hello.
walk in.
You walk in and it's large and airy and cool in here. The light is streaming in through the stained glass window at the far end of the main chamber of the church, scattering yellow light across all the stone pews. And sitting in the pew at the far end is a halfling. You can tell even from this distance he's quite tall for a halfling, at least 3.5 feet. His most striking feature are his incredibly long eyebrows, which sit just below his bald head like a dividing line. A grey beard and mutton chops complete the pastoral look, and he's wearing pale yellow robes over light leather armour. Within easy reach, next to him, leaning up against the pew, is a weathered mace and a well-thumbed book.
Good morning, Clara. Your eyebrows.
He looks up at you. Oh, good morning, sirs.
Morning.
Come in, take a seat.
Morning.
No, no.
I haven't seen you here before. You're not part of my normal flock.
No, we're from Kieu.
Ah.
We're here with a friend who's visiting his mother.
Oh, well, come in. Please take a pew.
Not here to worship, here to pick your brain.
Well, it's nice to have someone to speak to. I haven't really got what you would call a pious flock nowadays. There's only a few ever come on and listen to my sermons nowadays.
Whose is that house over there? I point in the direction of the manor house.
Oh, that's the old mayor's house. But there hasn't been a mayor here for 10 years now.
So no one lives there?
No. Alston Folkor is my name.
I lean forward to shake his hand. Commander Baron.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Baron. So what
That's
brings you to
Folkor.
our lovely little community?
I look at Tiberius, expecting him to take the conversation about monsters forward.
We'd like to ask you a couple of questions there, Father. To be sure. No.
He raises one of his incredibly long eyebrows at you.
We'd like maybe you could provide us on a little information on the local folk tales. I saw a strange mist receding from the village last night and had a curious dream of a creature crawling through my window. Just something seems not quite right. Everybody seems bewitched in the village. Is there a sickness upon it? Or...
Bewitched? I'm not sure what you mean by that, sir, but there's often a mist in the village at night. The waters from the canal nearby get caught in the hills that surround the village. But you come to the right place. I love fairy stories, brave knights rescuing damsels in distress and all that.
So, do you know any local?
Oh yes, what would you like to hear?
Any stories about witches?
Let me have a think for a moment. I'm sure I do. Oh yes, I've got just the tale.
Well,
He crosses his legs on the bench momentarily. Let me tell you about the curious girl. Now, once upon a time, there was a small girl who was strong-willed and forwards, and whenever her parents said anything to her, she disobeyed them. Well, how could anything go well for such a person? One day, she says to her parents, "I have heard so much about Granny Nightshade. Some day I want to go to her place. People say such amazing things are seen there, and such strange things happen there, that I have become very curious." Her parents knew better, of course, and strictly forbade her, saying, "Granny Nightshade is a wicked woman who commits godless acts. If you go there, you will no longer be our child." But the girl paid no attention to her parents, as young girls are wont to do, and she went away to the field weald anyway. When she arrived there in the centre of the forest, she saw a hideous old crone sitting on a burned tree stump that stood outside a ramshackle moss-covered hut. It was Granny Nightshade herself, and she asked the girl, "Why are you so pale, girl?" "Oh," the girl answered, trembling all over, "I saw something that frightened me." "What did you see?" "I saw a black man on your steps." "That was my charcoal burner." "Then I saw a green man." "That was my huntsman." "Then I saw a blood red man." "That was my butcher." Oh, Granny Nightshade, it frightened me when I looked up at you on the stump but couldn't see you. Instead, I saw a devil with a head of fire. Ah, Granny Nightshade said. So you saw me properly outfitted. I've been waiting for you, young girl, and wanting you for a long time. Light the way for me now. And with that she turned the girl into a block of wood and threw it into the fire beside her hut. And when it was thoroughly aglow, she sat down next to it and warmed herself by it, saying, "Oh, it gives such a bright light." He leans back, obviously pleased with his telling of the tale.
Interesting. And where would we find this green? Was it green?
Any stories about ghouls or vampires?
I don't remember any specifically about that, but I could start having a look through my library.
That would be very helpful.
Well, it might take a bit of time, but where are you staying?
What's the name of the place we're staying?
Dreams and Drams.
Staying over at Dreams and Drams, pointing the direction.
Oh, right, Level look after you. Alright, well I'll send word if I find anything. Is there anything specific you're looking for other than tales of witches?
Describe the creature you saw in your dreams to him, Tiberius.
I shall so forth describe the creature from my dreams.
Okay. He kind of starts bouncing, his eyebrows start waggling in excitement and twitching as you relate the tale. Well, I'll let you know if I find anything.
Please do. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Cleric.
Where's this green witch located?
What, Granny Nightshade?
Granny Nightshade, thank you.
Oh, that was just a tale. You don't want to go messing with Granny Nightshade.
Well, if it's just a tale, where is she located? Is she...
Well, first thing you want to ask is, who is Granny Nightshade? Opinions vary and none have been confirmed. Some call her Black Granny, some call her the Cackling Gram. But all agree she's some kind of ancient being that lurks in the centre of the Fairwood Weald, exerting her malign influence over the ancient stronghold of Filvermel.
Fairwood Weald.
You've heard of the Fairwood Weald. It's a massive woodland to the southwest of the Cerulean Empire. And when I say massive, it is huge, hundreds and hundreds of miles across. Humankind have only really penetrated the first few miles, and even then they travel in numbers and are very wary. There's lots of dark tales told about that place.
Woodweald. Right. Thank you for your time, Alston.
You're very welcome. Don't you go wandering off into the Fairwood Weald. You stay in the light of Pelor. He'll look after you.
Walk out outside of it.
As you walk out, you see Kat and Rhodry on the other side of the market square.
Let's walk over to them. Should we get some lunch and then decide what we're going to do?
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I wanted to visit the church.
How's your mother, Rhodry?
She's good, but some things she just can't quite remember, like most people around here.
Yeah.
Suddenly, a dog starts barking at you from the other side of the statue. It pads around the corner. Its hackles raise on the back of its neck and its lips peel back from its teeth and it starts to growl. And then, we'll deal with you one at a time. Cat, you suddenly come to in your room in Dreams and Drams. You're feeling drained. You're not quite sure what's happened, but you feel a large bruise forming on your face.
I pull my hand up to my face to sort of
It's
feel it.
yeah, it's tender. Feels very tender.
Where is it?
on your right cheek.
Okay.
Tiberius, as the dog barks at you, suddenly you blink and you come to. You're in your room in Dreams and Drams. You're shaking slightly. You're not sure why, but your leg hurts a lot. You look down and you can see that your armour is torn and there's blood coming out from a wound on your leg.
No. Oh. Grab a first aid kit and
Okay, you can make a medicine roll, please.
thank you.
Do you have a medicine kit on you?
Yeah. Well, one of the party ones, yeah.
Okay, you can use a hit dice.
Have I been wounded?
You have.
Have I?
Yeah. Should have been. Hold on. Yeah, you have.
Eh. Thank you.
Atticus, you look up at the dog as it starts to growl at you. Suddenly you feel a chill down the back of your neck, and you blink and you're suddenly in your room. You don't know how you got there or what you're doing here, but you feel drained in some way. Finally,
I get up.
okay, you stand up. Rhodry, you come to suddenly in your room. The last thing you remember seeing is the dog. Likewise, you feel slightly drained, aching slightly. You look across and you see on the bed next to you a backpack you've never seen before and an unusually shaped loot. It's made of fine sycamore, a single carved piece in a curved backwards S shape. It has floral designs painted on it.
Go over to the backpack.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recognise it at all.
Nope.
I'll take a look inside.
The backpack is full of adventuring equipment. You see some clothes, some rations, a water skin, a mess kit, and 4 pieces of carefully folded parchment in a buckled pocket wrapped in waterproof paper. Sorry, 5 pieces of parchment.
Take the pieces of parchment out and have a look.
Okay.
Are they holdings? Are they like used to hold something, or are they?
No,
writing
they're
on them?
just folded pieces of paper.
I'll unfold one then.
You unfold one. It's a hand drawing, drawn with charcoal on the paper, of a man with a slight stubble, dressed in a leather coat, with longish hair.
What the hell? I'll have a look at it. Pick another one out.
You pick another. It's another picture of a man dressed in a cloak with a slight facial growth, long hair, wielding a torch, and a name written above it.
I'm your #1 fan.
Did you draw these now?
Some, not all.
Hastily scramble and unwrap and look at all the other ones.
The next one is a much finer drawing. It's obviously had some time taken over it. It almost seems to be like a tale being told in pictures.
Yeah.
Knit. Is that knit or nil?
No.
The next one
Yeah.
is a full letter, carefully written in a neat script. It's dated about 3 months ago. You recognise the handwriting as your own. Do you want to read it out?
Yeah. Okay.
Seeing as you wrote it.
Start of the 15th. What date is it now then? How long ago was that date?
So it was about. So it's now the 2nd of Richfest. Planting was was about 3 months ago.
So about 3 months old. Where were we 3 months ago?
Read the letter.
So
Might
much.
tell you.
To the Normal Reagan, Helvanta Academy, Merchant District, Keymouth. My dearest Neil, it's been over a month since we last saw each other and it feels like an eternity. I simply cannot wait to see you again and feel you in my arms. As we discussed, I've decided to leave the Keelans. I've done what little good I can in the villages of the area, but the threat of exposure to the Knights Templars, along with the fact I am not really welcome in Penzaro anymore, has made me more firm in my decision. So I've decided to travel to Saltmarsh. Something tells me I could do some good there, and hopefully it's far enough outside the Empire that the Templars will leave me alone. I'll be coming to Keymouth soon to find a ship travelling to the Common Lands. I know last time we discussed it, you said that you would love to come with me. Does that offer still stand? I'm not sure I can do what I need to without you by my side. You may be a prodigy with a lute, but you play symphonies on my heartstrings, the like of which the universe has never heard. Please say you'll come with me. I'll be in Keymouth next week. I'll come see you at the academy. I love you with all my heart. We need to be together. Your soulmate, Rhodry.
You have no memory of writing this letter, and you have no memory of anyone called Nilaural Raquin.
I get searching my pocket for that flute.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I have been seeding this for so long. Can you make an intelligence check as you do that, please?
Yeah. That is as freaky as fuck.
Okay, you pull out
I
the
suppose you think that was terrible?
you pull out the little flute that you found in the belly of the whale after you'd been fighting Salty Maud. The flute with the initials NR carved into it. You hold the flute and that gets you thinking. When you were on the shark fin travelling to Saltmarsh during the storm, you almost fell overboard, but something caught you and stopped you falling. You remember when you were in Saltmarsh, in the snapping line during your first day, Ham brought an extra drink to the table. He looked confused when you pointed it out. When you were at the snapping line, you were given a double room. Hannah, on 2 occasions, referred to both of you when talking to you, Rhodry. You remember Hollylove Dardusk referring to the 5 of you when you returned from dealing with Salty Maud. You remember the dream you had of a home and feeling happiness and maybe a partner. You remember Lamunda referring to you boys and girls when you rescued her under the Tower of Xenopus. And finally you remember the dream you had of Zolek, where you were in a derelict house pointing to a painting depicting a female half-elf with a lute. There's one more piece of paper.
The last one.
Yeah.
Scrabble for it, desperately. Open it up.
It's a flyer, an advert for the sort you would find in taverns throughout the land.
Hardfest. Neil. You're under Kennedys. The dead Kennedys. Rob Marley. 9-inch failed. System of a draft. Oh my. Just is there any signs of occupancy in this room apart from me and Tiberius? Just this back.
You were given a double room, if you remember. In Dreams and Drams. You shared a room back in 15 Horses and a Mule in Keymouth, but when you got here, she gave you the largest room.
I picked all the pieces of parchment up, stuff them back in the backpack, put the backpack over my shoulder, grab the loot, and rush downstairs.
Okay.
Lev!
The rest of you have all come to in your rooms feeling drained, in some cases wounded.
Lev! Oh. Fib! Is there anybody around?
Lev comes in the back door. Hello?
Lev, whose is this? Whose is this? Tell me. Whose is this loot?
I don't know.
Surely you know. I grab him by the shoulders and just start to shake him. Who's it? Tell me! Oh, her. Lev,
Yeah.
sorry. It's a bloke.
I don't know. I don't know, Rod.
Did you recognise? Do you recognise the name Neil Oral Reagan?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Neil. I'll try an insight on her.
Okay.
Is she really? I'm just so confused. Oh, it's not her. Should've done that myself.
She seems genuinely confused, a little bit scared.
What? Right. Have you heard of Bard Fest then? When's Bard Fest?
I don't know. It sounds like something they'd have in the city.
Yes. You've not heard of it. You don't know when it is.
No.
Damn.
Whilst Rhodry is having his mind fucked with, what are Atticus, Tiberius and Cat doing as they awaken in their rooms, feeling drained and wounded?
I'm stretched out, go over to my water bowl and splash water in my face.
Okay.
Have a look.
Is my leg wounded because of my man trap?
Make an investigation check.
Have I been sleepwalking?
Yep, let's have a look. Oh wow, okay. No, you've been bitten. What's more, from the shape of the bite, you appear to have been bitten by human teeth. Large human teeth.
Maybe resembling the creature that crawled in through the window?
Could be.
Fuck. I'll kick my man trap over to the fucking window.
The wound wasn't there when you woke up in the morning.
The what?
Second have been wiped.
The wound wasn't there when you woke up in the morning. In fact, it wasn't there when you were spent all morning walking around the village. You'd have known.
So I dreamt something.
I'm gonna go out in the corridor, try and find everyone else, try and find Rhodry, Atticus and
Okay.
Gonna wander downstairs.
Tiberius.
You hear shouting coming from downstairs. It's Rhodry's voice. There's a slight air of panic in it.
Alright, I'll run down and see if it's alright.
Okay, you see him. He's got Lev by the shoulders. He's kind of shaking her.
I walk up behind him and put my hand on his shoulder.
Who's that?
Calm down.
Atticus.
I'm
What?
alright.
But
You're among friends.
look, read these, and I'll show him the 5 pieces
Okay.
of parchment.
And I kind of nod consolingly at Lev and pat her on the forearm and steer Rhodry away from her.
She disappears off into the kitchen.
Let me have a
area.
look then, Rhodry.
Look, there's a sketch of a very handsome man, and then
I'm going to put the parcel of equipment that were in the backpack. I'll put those in the party sheet, by the way.
When from the day to Neil, when's that relate to now?
The date on the letter is 3 months ago, roughly.
Okay. Former lover. Look at Rhodry questioningly.
don't know. But I show him the flute. It's.
Yeah.
I think this is her initials.
You
Where did I
recognise
get that flute again?
You found it after the battle with Salty Maud in the belly of the whale. It was lying on the floor.
Remember in the whale, and I think I'm supposed to know her, and I tell him about all those times that I've been referred to as like you both, and
Yeah. If you go back and watch all the videos, all of that happened, by the way. I've been seeding this for a while.
My God. What the hell's happening? Is there somebody invisible with us? And we're just not remembering this. Do you remember this?
Your former girlfriend, how would I know her?
None of you have any knowledge of who this Nilarel.
Yeah, Rhodry's not clearly communicated that yet to
No.
us, but he
No.
no.
But I think she's been with us all this time. We haven't seen her. We can't remember seeing her.
In your
What?
heart? Or what? What do you mean she's been with us?
No, the flute. And I've been trying to asking around about a half elf
Well, no, you didn't get
bard.
them until we went to the wreck in the belly of the whale.
Yeah, I've been asking about a half elf bard with a lute. You remember me asking questions about that in the salt marsh?
Yeah, but why?
Can't remember.
You had a dream with Zolek in a derelict house,
Oh, yeah.
and there was a painting of a female half-elf with the lute there.
She
He
was
said
in my.
you must find her.
Oh, she was in my dreams. You know those dreams we all had.
I'd gently sit Rhodry down.
I've got to find her. She could be the one. I think she already is the one. I don't know. That picture's brilliant.
Hey, Rhodry.
But look at this picture. She's hot, isn't she? I don't say fuck, do I?
Doesn't
You
seem
should.
like
Maybe I should-
you.
Maybe I should start saying it. Well, anyway, what did you find out?
I'm not sure because I don't know what is real and what isn't real anymore.
We asked the guy in the church, the cleric, to search his books for any information on the thing that Tiberius saw in his dreams.
Hang on, didn't we just have breakfast a few hours ago? How did we get here? Why are we back in the inn again?
The last thing you remember was seeing the dog growling at you in the market square after you all met up.
Whoa. What's that dog?
Oh, we need to go and find the dog.
Maybe we should go.
There.
Yes?
There.
Is everyone
When
okay?
did we get back here? When did we get back here? And was this the first night we've stayed?
Yeah, you stayed last night. You wandered in about an hour ago. You looked pretty shaken and beaten up, if you don't mind me saying. That looks painful, miss. She points at
Yeah.
your cheek.
Did we walk in with our injuries?
You did, yes.
Well, what were we saying? Did we say anything?
You didn't say much. You just nodded at me and all went upstairs.
Well, I mean, I've clearly been punched in the face and have no recollection. I can't fucking talk. I don't know how it happened.
I have no recollection.
Let's go back over to this. Walk out and go back over to the statue.
I want to examine my boots and my shoes. It's just like plain ordinary village mud on my and
Yeah,
dirt
it's
on my shoes.
nothing unusual. A little bit scuffed, but you've been travelling in them for a while.
Back out to the statue and have a look around for that dog. Let's have a walk
Yeah.
around the statue.
Last place we saw it.
You head back out to the statue of the halfling on the pony. The dog's nowhere to be seen.
Is it like dirt or cobblestone? What is it?
It's like gravel.
Okay, I'll have a look where the dog was, see if I can find any tracks.
Make a survival check.
I'm shit at that anyway.
I mean, there are a few tracks around, but nothing unusual.
Is Tiberius around, or did he stay in?
I'm with you.
Tiberius, can you find any tracks of that dog?
Right, let me have a little Jim Jammy.
No, you don't see any.
No.
There's a few tracks of people crisscrossing the market square, but not many.
No dog prints. No dog tracks.
That cat acted weird with us before, didn't it?
Well, I wander over to the mansion and just kind of
Really?
stand in front of it, looking up at it, and say over my shoulder to them as I'm looking at the mansion. So in every creepy story you were told as a kid, where did it end up? At the old, abandoned, big, scary house.
Whose is this? Do I know whose house this is then?
Yeah, this is the mayor's house, but there hasn't been a mayor here for years.
Wasn't that the one with the broken window?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
around the side, yeah.
I think it's time we went and checked that out.
Tiberius, if you remember, the cleric told us it'd been abandoned for a long time. Yet, the meal that you saw through the window, you told me had only just started to rot.
And there was fresh blood on the windows.
I think we should go give it a look.
Something's obviously playing with.
I look up at the sky, is it sunny?
The sky?
Yeah, is it daytime? Is it
Yeah, it's down daytime, it's early afternoon.
early afternoon?
Oh, show me this. Show me this weird meal.
I reckon it's probably better to go in there during the day. Go check this out.
Way.
Walk up and knock on the door heavily.
Okay, you knock on the door. There's a big knocker on the door, in the shape of a plough, made of cast iron. You wait a few minutes. There's no response.
Try the door handle.
It's locked.
Try forcing it. Put my shoulder against it.
I mean, it's quite a big, heavy door, but you make a athletics check.
I think somebody might come.
Just getting a drink.
Just turn around the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna try some.
You give it a really good shove with your shoulder. It kind of moves slightly in the frame, but it doesn't give.
For another way in.
Yeah.
Stop.
Show me this. Show me this window.
The window's on the front facing the...
The window's just round the side. Just round
Oh, is
here.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, go around to the window then.
Okay, you go around to the window, and as before, there's glass on the grass outside the window, and there's blood on the glass.
Can we reach through and unlatch it through the broken glass without touching the glass?
You can.
Do it.
Okay, you unlatch the window.
Swing the window open.
Okay.
Is there any blood outside?
Well, there's blood on the glass, and the glass is outside.
Yeah, I'm looking for drops of blood. Has somebody's been bleeding?
Make a perception check.
I'm looking for it. Let me just get my tower. Move that.
Window was latched, so unless they reached in and latched it behind them, nobody came out this way.
You see one or two spots of blood on the grass near the glass.
No trail of blood leading
No,
from
there's
the
no
window
blood
out.
trail, no.
I swing the window open and lever myself up onto the windowsill, but before I go in the room, I take a good look round at the room to see if there's anything so I don't disturb
The room is a large kitchen. It's neat, it's tidy, it looks clean. There's a large table, which is a chair which is lying on its side, and just in front of where the chair would be is a plate with a half-eaten meal. There's some chicken on there, some bread. The bread's just, you can see a few spots on the bread where it's just starting to grow some mould.
No. I lean out the window and reach down to help Tiberius up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking for tracks around the window leading away
Okay, make a survival check for me.
as Atticus pulls me up. Oh, shit, should have been in the tower. I thought it would go in the tower, sorry.
Okay. You do see some tracks. They're quite light in the grass, and they fade after a few feet.
Okay. Hop through
How
the
big was the hole in the window?
Did you see anything, Tiberius?
Yeah, some tracks leading away, but they peter out too soon.
Yeah, Atticus opened the window.
The tracks lead away, do they, or to the window?
Away.
Lead away.
How big was the hole in the window?
It was one of the panes. So the window was divided into 4 with wooden battens, and it was the pane in the bottom right as you're looking at the window had been smashed.
Roughly how big was a pane?
About 3 feet across and 4
Quite-
feet high. It's pretty big.
Quite easy for someone to get out. Or even-
So me and Tiberius are inside now.
Okay.
Is there any blood near the meal around the chair or anything?
Make a perception check. You don't see any,
Any signs of a scuffle or?
other than the chair that's been knocked over. No.
I'm just thinking signature move from the window, dagger. Just thinking that, maybe.
There's no glass on the inside of the window. It was probably broken from the inside.
Okay.
I go and stand by the door to the kitchen and just stand there and close my eyes and listen.
It seems really quiet.
I just
But
wait there to see if Rhodry and Cat come in. I don't know if they are.
Yep.
see if Cat's danger sense picks anything up when she's in here.
No, it doesn't.
I haven't for most of the time that we've been in
No.
here, have I?
Strange. Is it right? Well, should we start searching it room by room, maybe?
So yeah, let's have a look around the house.
Let's do the ground floor first.
Okay, ground floor basement.
Okay. You search the ground floor. The house looks clean and well maintained. Things have been tidied away. There are signs of life here. There's a newspaper from the city. It's folded up next to a chair in a reading room.
What's the
It's
date?
not really. The date is 5 days ago.
Someone's squatting.
The house is. You wouldn't call it opulent. I mean, it's nothing like Gellen's mansion or anything. But it's obviously the person, whoever owns this house or used to own it, was relatively well off compared to the other people in the village.
So it's the mayor's house. Is it not the mayor's house? No.
Yeah, this is the mayor's house. Yeah.
There, which doesn't exist.
It hasn't been for 10 years, but somebody's living in this house.
10 years seems quite an arbitrary date. How long ago? How long ago was I last in the village?
It's been a few years.
More or less than 10.
Less. I mean, how old are you?
I'll tell you. Hey.
You're 27, so yeah, I mean, you probably left less than 10 years ago, I would have said.
Mm-hmm. So I left less than 10 years ago, roughly. Something I can't. We could have.
Keep going around. Check. Is there a basement? Do we find a basement anywhere?
You find a locked door leading down to a basement.
Okay.
Or at least that's what you think.
If it's locked, we'll leave it and check upstairs. You can always come back down. And do
You
that.
check upstairs. There's a large bedroom with a large double bed in it. Paintings hanging on the wall displaying different pastoral scenes. Just next to the bedroom, there's a small office. There's a painting depicting a halfling who looks similar to the halfling on the statue in the market square.
Right.
There's various papers laid out across the desk.
Have a look at them.
Okay, so some of them are just seem to be notes about yields of grain and wheat, taxes to be paid to the city. There's a census of the town there, and there's also a half-written letter.
Have a look at the census and the letter.
Okay, there's the letter first, if someone wants to read it out.
Okay, I'll read it out. Found it. For the attention of Senator Calmadar Taskerhill at Taskerhill Manor in the Cudgel district of Keymouth. Dear Sir, I apologise to writing to you again in such short manner. However, our situation is becoming more desperate by the day. The Goblin tribe has now moved into the old salt mine in the village and is continuing to threaten and extort us, right here in the middle of Imperial lands. I beg of you, as a friend of our small community, please send help from the capital. The situation is intolerable. Yours ever in service, Master Erling Cotton Esquire, Mayor of Penzaro, dated 20...
You start flicking through the census. Can you make an intelligence check?
I suppose you think that was terribly clever.
You have a quick look through. There's lots of numbers there and names that you don't recognise. The one thing that is apparent is that there should be a lot more people in this village than there is.
Yeah, that's the reason I was looking, actually, was to see if the numbers of the people in the village reflected what we've been seeing. Okay.
I remember whether the mayor had a family.
Read it out to everyone and hand the note around.
Okay.
They've been taking everyone captive in the salt mine.
Something's not right.
Do I remember if the mayor had a family or not?
The salt mine is the next thing that we've found out in evidence. Sorry.
The last mayor that you remember, from which is years and years and years ago, was an elderly man. He did have a family, yeah.
Like wife and kids.
But his name wasn't Erling Cotton.
Don't remember this mayor at all. Nobody remembers. We just check the basement, and then I think we might have to go have a look at the mines, because
Only other place that we've got a lead on, so...
The only other room you find on the top floor is a small library.
Have a look. Any books stand out? Anything that where the dust seems to have been moved from books pulled out, or...
Make a perception or an investigation. It's your choice.
Make a what?
A perception or an investigation.
I'll make an investment.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh,
You can't really see anything that leaps out to you, Atticus, but Tiberius immediately strides across the room, and there's a book missing in what is otherwise an immaculately kept and ordered library.
Anything?
Peer in the hole. Is there a latch or catch, maybe? Or something?
You don't see anything.
Anything on the desk of that book? Is there a book on the desk? Or...
Make a perception check.
To see if there's a book on the desk.
There isn't a book on the desk, and you have a look around it, and just as you're about to move, your boot catches something under the desk, and you look down, and sure enough, there is a book under the desk.
Pick it up.
It's a book called Folklore of the Key Folk, A Mythical History of the Keylands by Siegfried Diggle.
I open Mr. Diggle's works and have a look.
Okay, I would like you to make an investigation check, please.
What have you found, Atticus?
Not sure yet.
Okay, you start. A lot of it is fairy tales, stories of witches, strange things that lurk in the canals. You skim read through it. Something immediately leaps out at you, though. Both the picture and the words, if someone would care to read this out.
The false hydra is a terrifying beast of local legend. It is said that they emerge spontaneously from the earth wherever corpses have been laid, especially those ridden with pestilence. Does that ring any bells, Rhodry? The hydra has pasty white skin and a bulbous body with elongated necks that twist up to their heads. The heads are human-like, but it has shadowy crevices where the eyes would be, and its extended jaw and wide mouth reveal tall, pearly white teeth. When its first face breaks through the soil, fucking hell, try saying that when you've got this, mate. When its first face breaks through the soil, it begins to sing. While it sings, it creates gaps in our attention and is completely ignored, neither seen nor heard nor consciously noticed in any other way. While it sings, it exists in our blind spot. It uses its song to feed and continue growing unnoticed. It absorbs the basic memories of whatever it eats, and the memory of its victims is lost to everyone else. The false hydra becomes almost impossible to destroy once it has multiple heads, as it can then sing whilst it feeds. And it is suggested that the false hydra may be visible in mirrors due to the added degree of separation. The only other way of seeing it is somehow stop listening to its song. Because of its song and the fact that most people who do see it are quickly eaten, the false hydra remains a myth, though a terrifying one.
When Atticus asked you the question about whether that rang any bells, Rhodry, you know that there was a pestilence in this village. And you know that all the corpses were burned and taken and buried in the defunct salt mine.
Okay.
Salt mine.
Okay. Salt mine it is.
Rhodry, do you share that with us?
Oh yeah.
Well, it looks like the salt mine is the next stop for us.
We need to prepare ourselves. We don't want to hear its song or we'll just forget why we're even there and it could just eat us.
Yeah.
And we need to see it.
Yeah.
Mirrors. I'll start going around this house looking for mirrors.
My dagger in it. And
Sorry?
start cutting a few small sections off my silk rug. I'll take 5 feet off it. And I'll roll those silk things up. I'll wet the silk things, like silk strips. I'll roll them into a ball and wet them in my mouth and put them in my ears. And then I'll hand silk strips out to everyone.
Hang on.
Okay. It does seem to dampen the sound a little bit,
What I want to do
but not a great deal.
is take one of these silk strips, find a candle,
Mm-hmm.
light the candle, drip some wax off it,
Mm-hmm.
wait a few seconds for the wax to cool, coat the silk in the still slightly sticky wax, and make sure it's not going to burn my ears, but put it in my ears, the wax and the silk, and let it just
Okay.
keep my finger there while it cools. Both ears.
Okay. You take a few minutes. You do find some candles in a cupboard, and you apply the wax to the silk strips and gum it into your ears whilst it's still warm. And the first thing you notice is that the strange haunting song that you've been hearing in the back of your mind for the last day ceases. You look up and you look through the window over the market square at a scene of devastation. The ground is uprooted, the statue has been toppled. Huge clumps of earth have been thrust up There is blood everywhere.
My face goes sheet white, and I'm just.
Okay, and with that, we're going to take a 2-minute break because the kids are shouting me.
No worries. I'll do the same as Rhodry did. I'll copy him.
Okay, alright, I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah. Drink. Get over drink.
I'm going to get a drink quickly whilst he's off sorting kids. Check on mine. You alright, Ruth? You alright, Ruby? Good.
No, I'm doing the smokes first. I'll put some on in a bit, babe. Do the smokes. My hands will get all creamy. Sometimes all I need is the air that I breathe and
I'm a little lost.
The GM leaves that in the video, that beautiful singing.
Yeah, so you got to leave something in, haven't you, on the intervals?
Got to leave something in for him to listen to.
It's for the fans. All 12 of them.
I think 12's pushing
But they're
it.
loyal. They're fucking loyal.
Fucking superstars. I'll do a movie about Tiberius Grey Wolf.
Yeah, it's about time we had another carry on. You know I guessed. Wolf boy.
What ya?
A Midlander werewolf in Penzaro.
Yeah. Well, I'm Tiberius and I'm from Birmingham.
You at night, I like to turn into a wolf, you know. It's better than going down the pub. You get bored going down the pub, but you get to change into a wolf. You can go do all sorts of stuff, you know, run around the streets, bark at people, scare old people. Great. You do end up eating a lot of children.
I'm back.
No.
No, I'm back. No.
I think we should. Do we want to break into this cellar? Are we are we that curious?
No,
We are.
We've had lots of things pointing to the salt mines.
Yeah, but I think that's locked cellar's worth a gander. We may find something.
Maybe there's a tunnel that leads to the...
Yeah, or we might find some useful equipment that will help us.
Alright, okay, yeah. Basement first.
We're
We
already
need
here,
to find
aren't we?
some. We need to find some mirrors. As many mirrors, at least one each.
Yeah, let's take the mirrors from around here. And mind you, now we've got the song stopped, we don't need to. Do we?
Yeah.
We need to agree on hand signals.
But that will stop it dicking about with our memories. But we need the mirrors to see it.
Well, we might as well take some mirrors anyway, just in case we need them.
If it's a big one, we can break it into pieces.
No, I'm not breaking a mirror. Do you want 7 years bad luck?
Bah.
Good boy, Pike.
Oh shit.
Hey, how's your mum and dad, Rhodry?
Rhodry.
How's your mum and dad, Rhodry?
Yeah, they're fine. Mum's like, do you want to risk it and come over for dinner? I said, I'd rather not risk COVID. Just leave it a few more.
This meal, I'll risk it.
I'll just leave it a few more days. I was going to go over to see them yesterday, and I think Mum tested positive. Mum, fucking hell. She's like, Dad's tested positive, and I'm like, Mum, get a test. He goes, yeah. I did do a test after I went to Flower Club, the supermarket, got everything done, did all my errands, went to see people,
She
and then I
knew
got home and did my test. It's like, for fuck's sake, man.
she probably knew it'd be positive, so she wanted to get all of her shit done before she
Yeah.
went out.
But yeah, it,
I
that's,
mean, yeah, like, you know, come on, mum, but I do get the logic as well.
yeah. But that
So,
tested positive, and like it's just. I was saying, so you're keeping yourself away from Dad then? Is he wearing a mask? Oh no, I'm not really bothered. And then lo and behold, a few days later, Mum's positive.
Becky didn't get it when I had it.
Yeah, you don't have to isolate, do you? You don't have to.
I'm back. Is everybody here, or...?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, Atticus, you see the same thing as Rhodry.
I look at Ryan and just put my hand on his shoulder. Holy shit.
Fuck. Apparently, I say fuck.
May we repeat what they've done? Because obviously they've had some kind of awakening from their facial expressions.
Yeah, point to the
And
wax.
yeah.
This is what I suspected, that everybody was under a spell. Some siren of some kind, some evil.
Mirrors. Yeah, just start looking for big mirrors or any mirrors.
Yeah, you find a mirror in the bedroom, but now that you've blocked your ears, yeah, it shows the scene of devastation wherever you reflect the...
Well, how big's that mirror?
About 3 feet tall.
I'm just thinking, if something pulled these things out my ears, it'd be good to have a mirror as well.
I'll take that mirror and
Huh?
strap it to the front of my shield.
It's
Maybe
bigger
you-
than your shield.
It's bigger than you.
It's the same height. Tower shield!
Maybe you could break it. We could break it up and have a small piece each. Give it here.
Oh, whatever.
And I'll lean it against something diagonally and smack it with my quarterstaff.
So we can only see the devastation through the mirror?
No. Now you've blocked your ears, it's like a veil has been lifted from your eyes. Now you can't hear the song anymore.
Right, now I'm going to start fucking tracking then. Now I can really see what's going on, if I may, Neil. I am looking for maybe tracks to the suspicious... No, we're breaking into the basement first. Cancel that. Belay that order.
Okay.
That's good. I'll grab some. I'll take it out, smash that mirror, and I'll take some pieces of the mirror.
Take a knee.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, you can break the mirror and you can carefully pick up some...
Just in case. Yeah. Double wrap it.
yeah.
Sexy.
Put it in my backpack. Anybody else want a piece of mirror? Sorry, am I shouting? I've got things in my ears.
I just nod and take a picture.
What do we need the mirror for?
Just as a backup. I think it does the same thing, but you know.
So, as you find as you're trying to communicate to each other, it's actually hard. So you have to keep communication between yourselves whilst you've got the wax strips in to a minimum. Simple, nothing, no complicated long discussions.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I just point to the ground, point down, and mouth the word basement.
Okay, head down to
You
the
start heading downstairs, and as soon as you come to the stairs leading down to the main entry hall of the house, it looks completely different to last time you came into it. The floor's ripped up, broken tiles scattered about everywhere, and you see a rough tunnel has been dug down into the earth below the house.
Oh my god.
I point at the tunnel and kind of shrug.
I'm nod.
Jump in the tunnel.
Okay,
I'm not.
it's dark down there.
Light a torch. Let me mark it off.
Okay, let me put a torch on you.
I'm not sure I like this.
I'm gonna cast light
Maybe
on my.
Right, as you transform into a wolf, Tiberius, your ears grow and you start to hear a strange, haunting melody. The scene of devastation disappears from before your eyes.
I'm a smart guy, so I have high intelligence, so I will remodify my AirPods.
Okay, you're going to have to take some time to do that, but yes, you can do that.
Oh, that's fine.
No good if I can't see.
The singing fades again.
I have
And I'm also...
that on me.
We're all doing the sound effects.
Hold on. So, save versus you've cast.
No,
light.
can I have light? The
Yeah.
light cantrip on me here.
Yeah.
And I'll give myself a bit of.
point at Neil
Yeah.
and wag my finger, and I point in the direction of where the salt mines is. So I point to the southeast.
Okay.
Off my shoulders.
So the tunnel, does it lead towards the...
No, the tunnel leads down, heading roughly north,
Okay.
under the house.
Yeah, to the salt. Sorry, I point towards the salt mines again.
Would you be a sweetheart and take 5 hit points off these Neil for Blood Maledict, so I get my...
Yeah.
Thank you.
You'll notice, by the way, that some of you have spell slots used up and ammo used up. That is deliberate. Do not remove the ticks.
Okay,
That happened when you had your memory blank.
I need to put second wind back on because I took it off because I thought I didn't use second wind.
Yeah, you did use second wind. You just don't remember that you used second wind.
Yeah, alright, I'll put it back on now.
Okay, mate.
I took it off because I was like, why the fuck is that ticked? I've not used it.
I've been messing with your minds.
Oh, I didn't see the first level spell ticked though.
Yeah.
I'll go over to Tiberius and point to his nose, then point to the ground in this tunnel.
Track. Tiberius will track.
Okay. Yeah. Make a survival check
Was
or
Irish?
a perception check.
I would like to make a survival check, please, Neil.
Okay.
It's my strongest skill.
You get advantage on perception checks with where smell. You're sniffing, by the way.
Oh, do
I think I've just been completely bewildered through this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm going crazy.
I? I'll make a survival check.
Hecati's going to be checking herself into the local clinic when she gets back to the city.
Like, it happened again. Great.
It's difficult to see any tracks down here. The ground has just been uprooted by something huge.
Okay, fuck it. I'll start walking into the tunnel.
Okay.
I'll shake my finger. We need to get to the salt mines. I point down to the southwest.
Well,
Getting distracted.
this might lead to...
North.
It goes north.
Salt mines is south, east. Sorry, we can't have long conversations. Fuck, I keep forgetting. Okay. I'll just walk out the building and start heading south, east.
just stood in the tunnel.
Tap Tiberius on the shoulder and like point my
Okay.
head towards where Atticus has gone.
I'll just shrug.
I'm not.
Are you going to follow them, or are you going to carry on down the tunnel, Tiberius?
I'll follow him.
Okay. You head out into the market square. As I described before, it is a scene of devastation. start heading down towards the salt mines, I take it?
Yeah.
Are the bodies, dead bodies around?
You
as
don't
well?
see any dead bodies, no. There are patches of blood. There's a boot, a single boot, lying just by the side of the market square.
Is it empty?
It is empty, yes.
As we walk southeast down the road to the salt mine, Neil, I just having a really good scan around. One, see if we can see any enemies, and two, if there's anybody in need.
You walk past this house here on the map, where I've moved the green pin, and the front of that house has just been demolished in. When you walked around this morning, it looked fine.
What your mum's house looks like, Rhodry.
Do the mines first. Oh, we can't talk.
Yeah. Would I be able to? I'm looking out for any signs of goblin kind.
There's no signs of goblins that you can see.
They're in the salt mine. That's what the letter said. The the goblin tribe reside in the old mine.
Just keep walking.
Yeah, Tiberius just looks at
You carry on. Some patches of the village look normal. You walk past Smelt It, Dealt It, and there's smoke rising from the chimney. It just looks like a forge in any other pastoral village. But you walk past another house and one of the walls has been completely smashed in. There's a tree uprooted next to it.
So it's basically feeding off the village, and nobody knows it is, and everybody, the population is slowly getting smaller and smaller.
You carry on walking down the slope towards the salt mine to where you ended up before, and you see that abandoned equipment lies strewn about, pick sacks and carts. In the north part of the quarry wall there's a small mine entrance.
For it. We're going in.
Inside the mine, the tunnel, you've still got your light cantrip on, Rhodry.
Yeah.
Leads to a small cave with several short winding tunnels cut into the salt rock. There's evidence of a fight here. Goblin bodies lie strewn around the area with broken goblin blades. Can everyone make a perception check, please?
Do you want these in the tower or not?
If you can, but if it's too much trouble, it's not. Tiberius and Rhodry, you see something move in the darkness, a shadow moving behind a rock.
I'll hone in on it and wave to the others and then point to the rock, and I'll like beckon with my finger with the other hand. I'll start edging towards it.
Draw my weapons.
You start edging towards the rock. Ah! A figure leaps up from behind the rock. It's a young man, probably 17 or 18 years of age. He's covered in dirt, his clothing is ragged, his eyes are wide in absolute terror. He leaps back against the wall. You recognise him, Rhodry. It's Brock Darstel. He's been deaf, completely deaf, and mostly mute, as long as you've known him, having been kicked in the head by a horse when he was young.
Oh my god.
I'll just hold my finger to my lips and hold the other one out, like empty palm, and
he starts gesturing wildly towards the exit.
I'll nod at him. Nod, and I'll point to him and then point away from the mine.
He shakes his head. He bends down and picks up a rock, and then he turns and starts scratching something into the salt rock wall behind him. It takes a moment before you understand what he's doing. He's drawing.
I'm gonna look at the entrance. Pointing.
He points at the entrance and shakes his head.
I'll take my quarterstaff and poke it in my drawing and point to Uslop.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't want us to go in there.
He starts to cower down again.
A point at the drawing, and then I kind of do a shrug and look around, as if to say where.
He points behind you out of the mine entrance. It looks like he's been hiding down here for quite some time.
Yeah, so he's obviously been safe in the mine. So maybe we need to go down the tunnel.
See, mate?
What do you think?
The goblins were in the mine, weren't they? And all the goblins are dead, so...
Holes created around the place now.
Sorry, say that again, mate.
Were there any other holes or tunnels we saw on the wall?
No, all the tunnels appear to have been mined out of the walls.
No, I don't mean in the mine. I mean through the village, like we saw in the basement of the house.
No, nothing like that. Just isolated scenes of devastation surrounded by normal-looking village life. Very odd.
I'll make a survival check and just basically just his tracks inside the cave.
Yeah. I mean, there's obvious signs that there's been a struggle in here. There's the dead bodies, and there's been a lot of the ground's been scuffed up. You see some humanoid tracks around the cave.
Any snake tracks?
No snake tracks, no.
So what do we think? Oh shit. I'll grab the stone off the bloke and I'll draw a picture of the tunnel that we found.
Make a performance check.
Ooh. Never done one of those. Tiberius draws a dick.
Brock looks confused. He takes the rock off you and he draws a picture of a big house. And then in the middle of the house, he draws a picture of 3 hay bales with a scythe over the top.
Fuck, it was.
No, that's where the creature's lair is. He's come up through the...
You were right. I nodded Tiberius. Didn't give it a gentle bow, as if to say you were right.
So I'll do like a little walkie symbol with my fingers. Shall we go to...
Let's go.
Brock cowers down against the wall again.
I chuck him a ration pack.
He leaps on it, starts tearing into it, and nods at you.
Right.
Is he hurt or?
He doesn't look hurt. He looks terrified and malnourished and filthy.
To give Tiberius a inspiration for 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
One, his instinct was right about a hole in the mansion.
Yep.
And 2, his humanity. Not one of us thought about giving that guy some food apart from Tiberius. We were just ready to walk off and leave him. So for that as well, for his humanity.
Okay. Yep, I will allow that. You have a point of inspiration.
Oh, my first one! It's my first one! Thank you! I will save it.
All did, my friend.
I will save it. To save you! Right then, off we go.
You're heading back to the mansion.
Yep.
Okay, you're walking up here. As you reach here, a halfling walks past you, a sack over his shoulder. He just nods at you as you walk past.
2 seconds, guys. 2 seconds.
Nod at him.
Okay.
Thank you. On your bed. On your bed.
Okay. You carry on heading up through the scene of devastation, past the abandoned boot, the blood splatters, the broken statue, back to the house. You can see the door of the house is completely caved in.
Okay.
And you walk in,
Yeah.
start to head down the tunnel.
I'll refresh my light cantrip because that probably took a while.
Okay.
and also me false wife. That should be down. Whoa! Error! No errors.
Hmm?
I love floor plans.
As it showed, inspiration point was well earned.
I did.
Have a
I presume you can see this map.
Yeah.
yes, can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, but if we hadn't have gone to the mines, we wouldn't have.
We would.
It's got a concrete, made it a concrete decision.
The tunnel leads down into a natural passageway, seemingly recently hewn from the stone beneath the town. Water drips into shallow puddles from the rough ceiling above, and the air is still.
Take it we come from the blackness.
Moving on.
You've come from the southeast.
Yeah. Cool.
Moving on. Nothing can stop me. Now.
How's that danger sense of yours, Cat?
Your danger sense has been itching ever since you clogged your ears up, Cat. Sorry, I should have said.
That's okay.
Atticus, as you step forwards, the narrow tunnel opens up into a large, hollowed-out chamber. A myriad of bones, some animal, some humanoid, litter the floor of the chamber. All have been stripped clean of their flesh. And then, rising from the darkness, is a monstrosity. Long, thin, prehensile necks of pallid, nearly white skin support bald heads that are uncannily humanoid in shape, with savage teeth and blackened pits in place of the eyes. Long, spindly arms that end in razor-like claws emerge from the central mass of its huge corpse-like body as it drags itself into view. I would like everybody to roll initiative, please.
Oh, that's alright, Neil. I didn't want to fucking sleep tonight.
Sorry about the errors that keep popping up, guys.
This is some serious Stephen King shit.
See what you meant about that picture I put on Discord of it.
Oh, 24. Fucking get in.
Okay, Tiberius, you're up first as this horror emerges from the darkness.
How far is it? Fucking out 45 feet away. You know what?
Okay, hold on, let me just check this quickly. Okay.
I have 2 attacks now. Can I fire my crossbow twice? Or does it need to be a bow to do that?
No, when you make an attack action, you can make a second attack in the same way.
Okay, I'm gonna, in one fluid motion, whip my crossbow out, fire off the arrow that's bolt that's already in it, and then quickly reload, and the trigger's still pulled, so it'll just fly away.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here it is.
Wow. He's got in the dice rolls tonight.
No.
Oh, he's down to
You fire off 2 of the 2 crossbow bolts at the thing. They thud into its white, pallid neck with a sickly thud. Its necks all start to writhe and turn at you. Are you doing anything else, Tiberius?
Yeah, I'm going to move slightly in front of Atticus.
Okay. Atticus, you're up.
Okay.
Actually, Neil, sorry. Try and move my full movement. Right, sorry, Mark.
Alright.
You've moved. How much have you moved? Is that
I mean,
5? 10?
I think I moved 10, didn't I? So
Okay.
I've got another 15.
Okay.
Thank you. As I do so, I sheath my crossbow and draw my sword, draw my shield.
Okay.
Okay. Have I got him targeted? Yes. I am going to start running towards him. As I do, I pull my pistol and fire my pistol, but it's not.
Okay.
I am going to... Hang on. I'm going to fire it at it, and it leaves the muzzle of my pistol and turns into a ball of flame that arcs across the...
Okay.
Misses! Let's mark off that spell slot.
Okay.
Excellent.
Ball of flame fires at the end of your pistol. The heads writhe in a sinuous motion. It passes between them and explodes on the wall behind it.
And I'm going to finish by making my movement. There we go.
Okay.
My go over.
Okay. The strange beast slithers forwards, its sharp claws skittering along the ground as it pulls itself towards you. One of the heads suddenly leers down in front of you, Atticus. Its jaw opens wide. Then it continues to open and continues to open. This great distended jaw, it's more larger than your head as it tries to bite you.
Oh shit.
You see it swooping down towards you and you step under it. As you do so, one of its claws suddenly comes out of the darkness. These things are like hard, pointed bones. Stabs out at you. It stabs you in the shoulder, digs in deep, but doesn't withdraw. You are grappled.
That's your problem, not mine.
Rhodry.
Moving forward 20. Target the old hydra.
Yeah.
And using a cantrip, I'll place True Strike on it. I drag that effect onto the...
Let me have a look. No, just click the effect button.
As I prepare my attack. And that's me.
Okay. Cat.
Alright, I'm gonna move forward 10 feet,
Yeah.
so I should be 30 feet away from it.
You are? Yeah.
And I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt at level 2. Apparently not. Oh,
Oh, yeah, it does it. This thing's big.
hey up. Right, second level. I did click Witch Bolt, didn't I? Yeah, awesome. That should give me 2d12 damage. Because I did
Yeah.
it at second level instead of first level.
Okay. These black beam of crackling with green energy shoots out from your staff, 2 of them, slamming into one of the heads of the beast. that head roars, its jaw distending, and then that head explodes. It has 2 heads left.
2 heads, but no brain cells. That's my go.
Okay. Tiberius.
Brother.
Sorry, no, it's going to take a reaction. As its head explodes, the other 2 heads look around. Both their jaws open, and this incredibly high-pitched wail is released from its mouth. Even though your ears are blocked up, Atticus and Tiberius are going to take some damage.
Whoa.
It's psychic damage as it
Whoa.
passes seemingly through the wax, and your brain seems to vibrate in frequency of this strange scream. Both of you take 5 damage. Okay, Tiberius, you're up.
Take it out.
Shit.
You get your second attack now.
Excuse me.
Oh, good roll. Wow. Okay, you start clawing at it, but your first claw misses. Its head dodges out the way, but you knew it was going to do that. And as its head dodges out the way, you're already bringing your other claw up underneath the head. And with your claws, you just rip up along its throat, tear its jaw off, and that head just lolls to the side. You have a bonus action left if you'd like to do
I
anything.
do indeed.
Oh my god!
Wow. Oh my god. He's at it again.
Ah, Duquesne!
Whoa! The third head screams. As it does so, you just plunge your fist into its distended mouth, down its throat, and you just pull it out, dragging with your claws as you do so. You're just covered in blood as you drag this thing out, and the thing falls to the ground. Level 5 now, guys. No messing.
Yeah.
Get to use my witch spell once.
Take the wax out my ears. Is there any change? Am I okay?
You can see the cave, you can see the corpse of the strange beast before you. Nothing has changed. You don't hear the strange singing anymore.
Excellent. I'll have a search around the cabin then. See if there's anything in the bones.
Okay.
I'll put one of the heads in a sack, tie them to my belt.
So,
Okay. Tiberius starts hacking away at one of the necks.
yeah, I wait a bit and then pull my wax plugs out. So Atticus hasn't gone mad.
Make a perception check, please, Atticus.
Is it safe, Rhodry?
I nod. Probably.
You see lots. I mean, there's rocks and bodies strewn about. Nothing catches your attention, though.
Yeah, I want to have a look around here. If this thing's
Okay.
been preying on in the village, and I want to find out where it came from.
Oh yeah, we'll dig around them bones, Rhodry. See what you can see, because I'm blind.
You're still shaking from the mere presence of this monstrous being. Rhodry has a good look around. You find some gold coins, some arrows, a small gem, lots of shredded clothing, and finally you come across a pair of supple leather boots. One of them still has half a leg in one of the boots, and they have the initials NR embroidered onto them.
Oh no.
No.
He's dead.
I will drop that parcel into the party sheet.
Or she's legless.
Oh,
Is it a woman's foot?
It does appear to be a woman's leg, yes.
Oh, she met a gooey end.
You mother!
this is the last opportunity for you to get your foot fetish off. Go on,
Yeah,
go. Rhodry,
I'm not-
with that
Look, look
I can still get my leg over though, can't
Hey,
I? Oh my god! Yeah, Rhodry collapses on the floor there and shoot. Do I recognise them at all?
Yeah.
Or?
No,
Is she
you
an
still
elf?
have no memory.
She's an elf, it wasn't she? Doesn't that make her Lego?
Half elf. Half elf.
Legolas. She's Legolas. Oh god, that's funny.
But there were no other personal belongings of like the clothing or.
No, just lots of shredded clothing.
I've just carry on searching, just seeing maybe she's wounded somewhere. I'm just madly searching around this cave.
And there's no sign of it.
Still can't accept it. Still looking.
Rhodry, what's wrong?
She could be here. She could be buried underneath some rocks or something.
She. Your
Neil.
girlfriend you were talking about.
Neil. Help me look. She could be trapped. No.
What makes you think she's here?
She might be.
You didn't know she existed until this morning, so why are you so...
Ouch! That is cold!
I'm just ignoring you, I'm just searching.
Wow. Love it.
I've just been completely like fucked up throughout the day. I think I'm in my own world, so I'm just...
Everyone's mind is messed up after the last 2 days. It's...
didn't even
Get back out into the village and seeing what awaits us there.
You head back up into the village, and you head up towards the market. You head out into the market square, and there's a few people about, and they're just looking around, shocked at all the devastation.
Do I suddenly remember that my...
Walk straight across to the church. And into the church, Neil. Just like full stride, straight ignore everybody into the church.
Okay, you head into the church of Pelor. Alston is standing in the doorway. He's got his hands on top of his head. He's just looking around. His large eyebrows are just raised at the sight.
Cleric, come with me.
Aye, sir. What in all the 9 hells has happened here?
Follow me.
What's been
Let's
going
walk
on?
But let's walk and talk, Cleric. We haven't got much time. Let's go. I just turn around and start to walk out.
He follows you. As he does so, he's just looking from side to side, just in utter shock.
As we're walking, I say, we found. Do you remember us coming to you and asking about myths? And
Aye, sir, I did. I had a look through my library, but I couldn't find anything. There was
hand up to it. Well, the whole village has been under a spell. That's why you are now seeing what you're seeing, because me and my friends have dealt with it. Now, follow me and I shall show you the body of the creature.
He follows you, still in a state of shock.
I just walk back down and show him the
You
creature.
lead him down to the tunnels beneath the mansion. He just stands there for several moments, just gaping at the thing, and then he utters a prayer under his breath. He makes the sign of the sun above his chest, making a ring out of his thumb and forefinger. Great Pelor.
The people of the village are going to need help.
They
Father.
are. They're going to need our Lord more than ever.
Now, you know what it is. You can spread the word as well, so people don't.
I don't understand what has happened here, sir, but We owe you a great debt. You'll always be welcome in Penzaro.
I show him the book with the picture of that thing, the false hydra, and I show it to him. I point at the picture.
This book was missing from my library. I
I
gave it to someone. I lent it to someone, but I can't remember who.
We found it upstairs in the mansion. Does the name, or what was the name on that thing again?
Of what?
That letter that wasn't finished properly. Erling
Cotton.
Erling Cotton, that's it. Does Erling Cotton mean anything to you?
Nothing, sir. I've never heard that name.
Anyway, you're going to have to make sure the village know what happened here.
Aye, I will, sir.
I'll leave the book with him. There, take it back.
He takes the book, takes a few moments, closes his eyes and turns around, walks back into the market square. He sees a couple of the villagers looking shocked and he rushes over to them.
No. Ignorant is
I
bliss.
think you ought to go and check on your mother, and then we'll check mine. Put my hand on his shoulder. Rhodry, come on, it's time to go.
I left the mine.
Oh, had you?
Still cradling the bloody shoe.
I think that's your effects expiring. Sorry, because I changed the time.
Can you ungrapple me, please, Neil?
I can, sorry.
And untorch me. The torch can go off.
Tiberius, are you using your armour to disguise your wolf form again, by the way?
Yeah, they don't need to know who I am.
Okay.
Well, to be honest, I'll change back now, actually. There's no need for me to be
Okay.
rocking wolf.
Hopefully this will...
Monster is dead.
There we go.
Thank you.
I'll take the remains from, I presume to be Neil, over to the church
Okay.
and the graveyard. And,
As you stand before the church and see the symbol of Pelor carved on the doors, it's the rising sun bathing the fields in a glow. You feel a modicum of peace in your heart as you look at it, but you still have many questions.
Well, at least you don't have to pay an arm and leg for a coffin.
Yeah, I'll take the remains. Ask the father if he's got a shovel somewhere. And dig in the graves.
He's comforting a couple of the villagers, but yes, he directs you, tells you to take what you need. Sir, were you with Mr. Baron? Did you help?
Yeah, I did. Down the tunnel under the mayor's house.
Come and see me before you leave. I can see you're a brother of the faith. I have something for you. As a way of saying thank you.
Okay. First I must dig a grave. And head out to the back in the graveyard.
Okay.
Dig a grave. And place the remains in the grave.
Okay.
It's a special syrup called Juice of the Sun.
What's that, Rich?
Okay. People start to come outside and see the devastation. They gather in small groups. People are hugging each other. Some of them are crying uncontrollably, even though they don't fully understand why. They know that they've lost something or someone.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, in this case, you may very well be right.
Any way we can help them restore their memories?
Would a healing spell do the trick?
You don't know.
pain and devastation might be too much for some of them, but at least I'd know what their life has been dealt. Anyway, look into it.
There's a sudden shout from across the other side of the market square. You see Bill Tanner striding across the square towards you, Atticus, Tiberius and Cat. His face is red. He looks furious. What the bloody hell's been going on here? Where is he? What trouble has he caused now?
Who are you?
This is the big burly man, Rhodry's stepfather, that you met briefly in his mother's house the night you arrived.
I just punch him in the throat.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Mate,
I don't say a word, I just step forward and punch him in the throat.
make an athletics check.
I was about to confront him. I was going to go, right, you, and I started pointing my finger at him, and then Atticus just fucking punches him in the throat.
Chins him.
Okay, yeah, you just walk up to him, punch him in the throat. He collapses to the ground. He's like trying to catch his breath. He's been winded. Tears are in his eyes.
He's one of our boys now. You treat him well, or you treat all of us badly.
He looks up at you with a grimace. If he's hurt Darcy, I'll kill him.
Darcy.
He stands up and walks off, looking over his shoulder at you. Darcy is Rhodry's mother.
Oh, sorry.
I look at Rhodry.
Rhodry's,
Sorry, Rhodry.
Rhodry's burying his leg.
Yeah. Burying his leg.
Get up to and walk
Leg.
away, but my leg's in the grave.
His leg fetish.
He's got his foot in his mouth somewhere.
Oh, I'll go find the father, the priest, then.
Okay.
Alston.
You find a spot underneath an apple tree, and it looks like a nice spot. The afternoon sun is bathing down, dappling it in light, and you dig a hole there and into the remains.
Say the last rites. Hello. No doubt, no.
The epitome of 1 foot in the grave, isn't it, really?
Oh my god.
That's what I felt. I'm done.
I doubt it.
That's the
Right.
that's the pinnacle. We can't get better now.
I'll leave it there. End on a high.
And then, yeah, after I say the former last rites, go and find them. Priesty boy.
Okay. You find him in the church. There's a few people actually in the church now, sitting. There's a sound of quiet sobbing. He's got his arm around one of the parishioners. He looks up at you as you approach and nods. Just take a seat, please.
I'll take a peek.
Yes, father.
He goes over to a chest up near the altar, lifts the lid, and reverently lifts something out of it, and he brings it over to you. It's something long that's wrapped in a cloth.
The other leg, yeah.
Fellow brother of the faith, I think this might be of more value to you than it will be to me. You and your friends have done this village a great service. This has been handed down from father to son for 6 generations in my family. And rumour says it was passed to my great-great-great-great-grandfather by the Emperor himself. He unwraps an immaculately carved staff.
Oh,
Hold on.
No.
Oh wow!
And he passes it to you.
Day.
He then explains to you what it is and what it does.
Oh my God, Rhodry, that's awesome!
Alright, Jafar.
I will put it in your inventory, Rhodry.
Yeah. A sun's
It does need a tuning.
well. But, thank you. Thank you.
He nods. I'd rather this was used for good, for the word of Pelor than sitting in a box here. You've done us a great service.
I will look after it. And try not to get it killed.
I'm going to have a wander up to the northeast where I was told that my
Northwest.
mother's house was.
Northwest.
Northwest.
Yeah. Okay, you wander up. You were told it was on the right of the road, and you stop in front of the building with the incredible garden. It's a large house with 2 floors, and the flower garden in front of it is just blooming with bright blooms.
I knock on the door.
You hear some shuffling. It takes a moment, then the door opens, and standing before you is Martha Barron, short and thin with a bent back. She, despite her age, her hair is still dark brown, and her eyes glint with a mischievous sparkle. Let me just give you an image. She looks up at you, confused for a moment.
I know you're a sight for sore eyes.
Gradfon? No, not Gradfon.
Atticus.
Atticus! Atticus! Oh, dear boy, dear boy.
I give her a
Takes
hug.
you by the hand.
Oh, come in, Atticus. It's been so long. You've grown so much. Are
I'm
you...
here to put you down. I'm not.
What? What?
Punches her in the throat.
I'm so sorry.
It's like MacGyver, isn't he?
She takes you by the hand and leads you into a small parlour, which is a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
Which surprises you because there should be someone here looking after her, but there's a glass has fallen over. There's some half-eaten fruit on a plate. The fire doesn't look like it's been used for a while, and there's a lot of soot on the carpet.
Take a seat, my dear. Where have you been?
Where's Hana, Mother?
Hana? Who's Hana?
Your carer.
My carer? I don't have a carer.
Who brought you here then?
I don't know.
I'll make you some tea.
I came here from the city. Have you ever been to the city?
I've been to the city.
Oh, it is such a sight. So beautiful. All the ships and the canals. I went there on a day trip yesterday. It was lovely. Me and Nellie went. And we went on one of the restaurant barges and we had green tea. It was lovely.
Yeah, I've changed my mind. I am here to put you down. I spent about an hour with her, make her some tea.
Okay.
And
She flits in and out of making sense.
Okay.
She's obviously has some form of dementia. She keeps referring to you as Gradvon, and then her eyes will suddenly clear and she'll remember that you're Atticus, and then she'll drift off and tell some story that was obviously from her youth, but she thinks happened yesterday or last week.
In one of the more sane moments, I'd ask her who Gradvon is.
She looks at you slightly confused.
He was a nice man. Yes, he was a very nice man. He was in the Navy. Very handsome like you, my boy.
Was Gradvon the name of my dad? Oh, I don't know who
You
my
don't
dad
know.
was. That's right. Did he have icy blue eyes and a stare?
He looked a bit
That's
like
what my
you.
dream was, I believe. of a man with a naval man with a cold glare or something like that.
Yeah, you didn't see the face of the naval man at all in your dreams. You did dream of somebody with icy cold eyes, but it wasn't the naval man.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah, so I passed the time. And just to save time, I'm going to spend an hour, I'm going to write a note that basically says something like, "Hi, you're obviously homeless. We've got rid of the nasty creature. It's safe to come back. My mother needs looking after. If I give you some money, will you look after her? You'll have a place to stay." I write it down in a note, and I go and visit that lad in the mines and hand in the note.
You find Brock on the road to the mines. He's wandered out. He's kind of just looking from side to side in surprise. He sees you and he smiles and he jumps up and down excitedly.
I go over to him and I hand him the note.
He reads the note, he nods and he gives you a big hug.
I kind of move away from me and just shake his hand. And then I'll take him back to the house, get him washed up, get him a set of clothes, and tell my mother what's happening, and he's her new carer.
Okay. You're not 100% sure she understands, but Brock seems to understand.
Yeah, I write another message to Brock, like, look after her, make sure, you know, and I just give him all the
you have a quick look around the house whilst you're there. There are 2 rooms upstairs, one of which is your mother's. The other does have signs of recent occupancy. Work clothes, gardening tools, and a book on horticulture.
Either. You obviously died to these fucking things. Okay. That's me done for a while, sorry.
Okay.
Dominated the time for a little bit there.
That's alright. So what are the rest of you doing?
Do I remember my teacher now?
No.
No.
No. You don't remember your teacher? You don't remember Nil? The thing is dead, but the memory of those it's took remains gone.
That's bizarre as fuck, man. But I suppose it's a blessing. Takes away the pain.
No, she was my second mother.
What did you do with the body? Is it still in the salt mine?
Rhodry, you're only in your mid-20s. You'll get another blowjob, don't worry.
You think it probably ate most of the bodies?
No, the body of the
goblins.
The false hydra body.
Oh yeah, that's still in the. It's not in the salt mine. It's in the tunnel beneath the mansion. Yeah.
Right. What? I can't hear you.
Yeah, if Tiberius
I've got one of its heads. I'd muted my mic 'cause I
Yep.
was coughing, sorry. Yeah, I've got one of its heads, if you need it.
I was thinking maybe we should burn it. I don't know if it's going to come back to life or something. It's going to eat itself.
Looks pretty dead to me. I'm going to make a survival check now. Is it dead?
Make an H check.
One of its heads exploded. You cut another head off.
Rip the throats out of another one.
If it can grow a head.
I think it's dead.
I think it's dead.
Yeah, you think it's dead.
Hated it. You and Cap together. She blew her head off and then you just ripped it fucking threads.
Right, so where are we heading then? Should we go back to the inn? Go and see if anything's changed there.
What else did you come to the village for, anyway? We accompanied you.
Rhodry came because of his mum and sent him a note.
Yeah, I'll go and visit her.
Do you have any other business you need to attend to while you're in your home town?
Saying goodbye to her before we go.
Take it. I won't be there. I'll be visiting my mum while she won't be like Rhodry.
Yeah.
So I'll keep my mouth shut.
I'll be in the local tavern listening
Alright,
to
you head
gossip.
to Dreams and Trams. Lev is still in there. There's a few people in there and they're all gossiping about the state of the village. Rhodry, sorry.
I'm going to sit at the table drinking with the head of the beast on the table.
Okay, after a while, a gnomish woman comes over to you and starts chatting to you and points at the beast and asks for the tale of what happened.
I shall riddle her a tale of heroic bravery
So
and woo her.
the tale of the heroes of Penzaro is born in the tavern as Tiberius begins to spin it. Rhodry, you head back to your mother's house.
Mm-hmm.
I'll even use my horn. I'll play my horn while I tell the tale, because I am proficient in horn.
Okay. Musical accompaniment. The front door of the house is open, Rhodry.
I'll walk in.
Darcy is sitting there. There's tears streaming down her face. She looks up at you. Oh, Rhodry, I thought you'd have left. I'm so glad you didn't. Bill came back a while ago. He stormed in, headed to the bedroom and slammed the door.
Ah, well, I'll not be wanting to speak to him, so that's good. I'll pull out the letter that she wrote and say, "You wrote this, Ma. Do you remember now?"
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Well, whatever evil was beset in the village, if you hadn't have written this note, we wouldn't have come and we wouldn't have killed it. So
I don't understand, but thank you. You were always a
you're
good
also
boy.
the reason why it's dead. You help.
Perhaps this village will look upon you kinder now.
Wow.
She smiles at you, and as she does so, the air seems to grow suddenly still, and her eyes glow with white light.
Hello again, my boy.
What's that like again?
Right, I go, yeah. You're not real, are you?
I think it's time I introduced myself. My name is Jeremel. It is I that you struck a pact with many years ago.
Pact? I didn't sign anything.
You signed it with your heart, my boy.
Oh. Okay.
Your
What
powers
do you want?
come through me. I have come to give you a message. The life of Nilaurel Rayquen was a complicated one. You were her lover, and she was important. I don't mean important to you. I mean important to the world. There is a prophecy. When the behemoth from the unfathomable green has risen and fallen, the pestilence shall sweep the land. Come carillons weep, two lovers will forge a union and witness the return of hope. For the daughter of Cantos and the messenger and her heart's yearning will break the wounding pox.
But she's dead.
Perhaps. This body certainly is. I do not know everything myself, but when you get the chance, you should investigate her life. There may be answers. Anyway, he came in and he just slammed the door and went in the bedroom.
He's just like, he's just looking around. What the? Okay.
I'll just put that prophecy in the chat box for you.
Okay. Oh, thanks. How do I copy that again?
If you right click it, there is a copy text to clipboard option.
And then
Thank you.
open up a journal, a new
Control
journal.
V. I'm afraid your journals aren't working this week. You just make a note or something.
Right. Got it. Top.
And add it to your notes. So.
Got it.
So, You spend some time, the rest of the afternoon, with your mother, and say your farewells for now, but you know that you'll find perhaps a more welcoming village next time you return.
Lovely.
You head back to the tavern, where you find Tiberius with a rapt audience seated in a semicircle before him as he tells the tale of the great battle. And you know that it is time to leave Penzaro again for the second time, but probably not the last. And we'll leave the session there for tonight.